Not even a Grubnar can bring your spirit down. Okay. I'm not. Alright, just leave her. Oh, it's stretching right there. Oh, there you are. Oh. Already, dude. Scrub is straight up checking me out. And there's a ball over. Yeah, Scrub Joe over here is checking me out. Pros come. I can hear him. Wait. Oh, yeah. Shit. Right there. Same spot. Call my ass out. Oh my god, they're all going off. Holy shit. Scrub Jay's even popping off over there. Let's see, is there anything in there? No.
What are you doing, dog? What are you doing over here, Zooks? Silly thing. What are you doing, dog? You big goof. What are you doing? Are you sliding through a bush, dog? Okay. What a weirdo. Oh shit, I'm trying to charge my phone too much. Hold on. At least dump that. Let me get back inside. Get this phone charged up. Charge this fucking thing. That's always great. Crow's getting British on you. I don't think they're getting British on me. I think they're just doing their thing and just gone. And letting the rest of the neighborhood know that I have brought the peanuts out. Ugh. Let me think. Then I'm pretty sure I might. Pretty sure the squirrels and the crows, diff critters. You know, it's like I'm pretty sure they're all like chilling with me. All things considered. Be right back. Little foof. Little munchkin. There we go. All right. Got my coffee too. Delicious. Delicious soul coffee. Give me food or I shit on you. I don't think that's... whatever. That's not what a crow does. Like, if anything, I've gotten gifts by these crows before. And if they're giving out gifts, I don't think that's exactly, like a indication of antagonism. So...
I was working on my farm about 1982.
Blah, 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 blah. What be going down for the morning? For the tubes and for the broader series of tubes. Alpha of tubes. You know, honestly, like, I know for the last couple days, I've been like, well, actually, not even the last couple days. It's actually been like a dude I've watched for a while. Like, there was this, like, well, I guess formerly was, like, kind of like a bushcraft channel, or, like, one of those, like, channels that'll be like, hey, here's how you can, like, fix an axe head, or, you know, hey, is your knife rusty? Here's the easiest way to, you know, sharpen it. Or do you have, like, a, you know, busted handle for your knife? Here's how you could fix that. You know, just, you know, little things like that. And within, like, the past, like, 6 months, especially in, like, really the last, like, 3-something months, the dude has, like, legit, unironically, has gotten, like, schizo. This guy's name's Wrangler Star, and the dude is legit, at this point, fucking, like, overtly unhinged. He spends more talking about, like, the decline of Western civilization and how, like, society has collapsed and all this other shit. It's just, like, I mean, half the content isn't even like that anymore. Besides just, like, weird conspiratorial tinfoil hat shit. And honestly, a lot of the people in his audience, at least formerly, have, like, left at this point. I've noticed a lot of comments, especially lately, like, this guy's going more and more unhinged. It's like, I used to watch this dude for a while. And I stayed for the bush, you know, it's like, I came for the bushcraft, I'm leaving because of schizophrenia. This is crazy. Just like people making memes, like, tell me you were a divorced dad without telling me you were a divorced dad. I mean, it's like, oof. And all things considered, especially with, like, his content, yeah. I mean, I don't get these fucking weird right-wingers in general, especially, that just, like, fall into such a weird extremism. Because the dude wasn't even, like, that hardcore conservative or anything prior, but then it just, like, really came out in, like, the last, like, year. And I'm just like, oof. Man, it's like, if you're, like, kind of conservative, whatever, I don't care, but, like, I mean, when you got the tinfoil hat, Alex Jonesian style, like, conspiratorial brain going on, that's a whole nother ballgame. And I ain't sticking around for that shit. As I was watching, like, one of his shorts where it's like, yeah, one of these postal workers, you know, did some shoddy work on this, you know, tape around my old mailbox, and this, you know, the problem is the guy Simpson whores destroying Western man like the shoddy tape, and I'm just like, what the fuck did that come from? Like, I'm not kidding. This is a real YouTube short of his. Where it's like he goes into looking at this, like, shoddy tape, which he put himself, by the way. I don't believe that, like, some postal worker put that there. You know, and then he's like, look at the shoddy work or whatever. It then starts talking about, like, Simpson whores, you know, being, like, the main reason, like, Western man is collapsing or some shit. And it's just like, what? Have you heard about the YouTuber Joe Cat, harassed off the internet for saying I like girls in a supposedly gay way? I have not heard who that is. I've heard there's, like, some weird-ass, like, drama or something about, like, some YouTuber, but I don't know who they are, so I didn't fucking get into it. Wait, so a YouTuber, like, said, I like girls, but said it in, like, a very gay way, so thus, you know, what? Is there supposed to be a problem with that? I mean, is there something wrong with that inherently? Is the dude, like, you know, did he do something wrong, or is it just simply that? Like, is there something else going on to it, or is it really just him being like, I like Gav, and just said that, like, that once or something? Because, seriously, like, who cares, for one, and for two, like, I'm struggling to see a problem here. Yeah, clogged it. Fuck. He's a furry too. So you got, like, some, you know, like, I guess a furry YouTuber who had, like, an old ass, you know, clip resurface, and now he has a bunch of bigoted, hateful, fucking degenerate pieces of shit, right-wing fucks, you know, going after him for it. So that's essentially just what's going on. basically. Scrubbly fucked up. Man. This is why, honestly, in a way, you just can't, like, you know, let them get to you, in a sense. Like, at least for me, it's like... I mean, I guess it's easier to say when you're a smaller bean, but it's kind of, you know, easier to just, like, brush that shit off. But when you're, like, a bigger content creator, I mean, and just, like, every fucking day getting, like, endless shit. Like, especially over nothing, dude. If I was him, I'd just be like... If you have a problem with me being like, I like Gav, I just literally would quintuple down on it. I literally would have done like an hour stream where it's like every time someone sent me a super chat, I'll be like, I like Gav. And just say it in the most flamboyant, gay way possible. Suspicious packages showing up. So it's not just like people like fucking on them online and just saying shit. It's like there's people going that level with it. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously, like, honestly, like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Fucking... Dude, that is just ridiculous. I mean, that's like that definitely is a different level of, like, what the fuck. That's a different ball game instead of just, like, a bunch of degenerate fucks, you know, just saying stupid shit online. That's for fucking sure. Like, what the fuck? It's like, man, what the fuck? Doxim left around 4chan sending glitter bombs to what look like the picture from an actual pipe boom boom. From a pipe bomb? Jesus Christ, dude. People are just genuinely are fucking, like, dude, these, like, you know, fucking bigoted, like, quote-unquote anti-woke types, there really is, like... a fringe within that fringe that, you know, literally thinks it's like a life or death if like someone acts even remotely gay or even remotely like outside of their conditioned norms of what they think is, you know, good or what isn't or what's holy or whatever the fuck. So these people are just seriously unhinged. Like, I mean, it's why I mentioned like, you know, shit really hasn't changed that much when it comes to these extremist types and shit, because they were the same fucking way like back in the 90s and the 80s, you know, even way before then. Yeah, they're like, you know, like 50s, 40s. Like this, it's been a common thing, you know, for, unfortunately, for quite a long time. But, like, at least nowadays, it's, you know, obviously a lot more of a niche fucking thing, and it's way more rare, but it's still there. And still a problem, unfortunately. Obviously, it shouldn't have to be, but when you got pieces of fucking shit that are just like overtly unhinged and basically had like no one like you know beat them as a kid to fucking give them a little discipline, or maybe too much. That also pissed off some phobes. Oh well, yeah. I mean, if you are someone who's like a pro-trans advocate or a trans ally, you're going to get fucking people, you know, going on your fucking channel doing hate comments and shit. I mean, I see that all the time, unfortunately. Like, I'll go on different YouTube, you know, like while I'm scrolling for YouTube Shorts, I'll get, like, you know, pro-trans videos on top of, like, you know, bigoted right-wing ones, too. And, you know, and honestly, like, the whole, like, you know, like, there's always going to be a whole chunk of, like, the comment sections on YouTube, especially on YouTube Shorts, where you get these bigoted fucks that are just, like, constantly just, like, spewing their shit with, like, hundreds, you know, fucking likes on it and stuff. Which, honestly, I'm convinced that, like, a fat chunk of it is probably just bots. But the main discourse is around the I like girls gay vibe thing. Oh my god, dude, people are just fucking retarded. Is Being Brigaded itself his recent video? Really? What's his most recent video? Oh, is it the Alex Jones video that he uploaded? Oh, you know, of course, because he's talking about Alex Jones. I mean, of course he's gonna get a bunch of crazy, like, Alex Jones fans and fucking freaks, because, like, these, you know, right-wing conspiratorial psychos will, like, they're obsessed with these people. Like, they're overtly, heavily obsessed with, like, you know, their fucking, you know, propagandists that fucking spew their shit like they're their fucking daddy, basically, and are just like heavily obsessed about the shit that they talk about. And it's, especially with people like Alex Jones, it's constant buzzword bullshit like, you know, this trans commie woke globalists, the deep state, blah, blah, blah. You know, it just gets parodied down. It kind of goes into what I was mentioning from earlier, like with the dude that I've watched for a little bit, because I'll watch like, you know, some like bushcrafting / like outdoorsy channels, and there are unfortunately like a couple of them that are legit kind of unhinged and either are really good at hiding it, or they've just recently decided to be this way and, you know, and are just getting more unhinged. Because Wrangler Star is honestly, I think, a good example, because like a couple years ago he wasn't making shit like what we're kind of talking about a little bit, like this weird conspiratorial schizo posting. Because like the Wrangler Star guy, for example, like there was like videos where he will never mention about like, here's like things where I like, you know, care about the most, like, you know, God, family, and, you know, my country or some shit, or some weird shit like that or whatever. You know, it's typical jingoistic bullshit. You know, it's like there was a time where he wasn't doing shit like that, and now it's like for the past like few months now, it's like almost like every other fucking video I see out of this guy. It's like, dude, you are just unhinged. It's like, what the fuck? And honestly, it's like if he thinks that he's gonna be able to do shit, especially when he's posting all this type of stuff online, there ain't no fucking way, dude. There ain't no fucking way these motherfuckers gonna be able to really, you know, pop off if fucking anything, honestly. Political atmosphere feels like 2016, but worse. Because it is, honestly. I feel like we really are repeating 2016. That's just what it feels like. That's why I say it feels like, you know, 2016 with like the aesthetics of 2020 with the redo of like Trump and fucking Biden. Because it just like, I mean, the, you know, fucking beats of 2016 are pretty much like very, you know, very reminiscent. And it's only going to accelerate. This is genius. A bunch of blow-up dolls with helium. Fill a bunch of blow-up dolls with helium and release them to watch these people lose their minds thinking they missed the rapture. Dude, hell yeah. I want to see that. Dude, someone should totally do that. Someone should go into like some random like town in like Alabama or something and just do that. Game goes well over my head. Oh my god, now you're all talking about video games now. Topic of video game I know nothing about, yeah. Love it. Need to dodge Venom. Yeah, dodge it. And then I slapped that. So that's when I slapped that dirty green bandejo for ruining Christmas, and then I made everyone tacos. The end. Dude, that is the, you know, I want a Christmas like that. Can I have a Danny Trejo Christmas? I mean, I know he's kind of like, you know, cameoed in that fucking Lady Ballers or whatever the fuck, and he's trying to grab a paycheck because, you know, he's not exactly on the prime, you know, like he used to and shit, you know, so I kind of get it. So it's like, I'm willing to grant him like a little baby pass for it. I don't understand why some links show up and as links and others don't. I don't know. I mean, they seem like they pull up as links for me. Goofy doggo. What are you doing? Goofball. I keep resending them because I didn't think they worked. Well, I only see one link, you know, when you post them, so I'm guessing that's probably it. Why can't Bruce just pay the criminals of Gotham a living wage so they stop being criminals? Because he's a billionaire and probably doesn't believe in that concept. He probably thinks it's, you know, fine that, you know, people are being, you know, exploited to a certain extent. And also, it helps, you know, keep the whole idea of, you know, needing a Batman. So it's a reciprocal cycle. I mean, I know, like, you know, there are people that generally like him for some reason, but I honestly don't like the character of Batman as a, you know, superhero, because he's not really. I mean, he's not, I honestly would argue he's not much of a hero at all. Like, I mean, considering that, you know, he does have abilities and means to probably stop a lot of these, you know, fucking, you know, stop a lot of these, you know, problems in Gotham and shit by just heavily investing in the fucking city, but, no. He'd rather, like, beat the shit out of some poors. He'd rather beat the shit out of poor people. But he has money to advocate for better labor policies. Yeah, like, he could, legislate and bribe politicians, you know, do shit like that. You know, it's like he has the money to be able to get shit done if he really wanted to. Because he's a naive Boy Scout, but Batman should know all this, being a super genius. Well, that and, like, Superman comes from a whole nother planet. And, you know, so he's technically like an entire fucking, you know, outsider, technically, for all intents and purposes. Batman's been shown to invest money in poorer areas, so it really makes Batman useful in my mind. It's him dealing with outside threats like Darkseid, since he's a genius. I mean, I suppose, but it's like, you know, I still kind of feel like, you know, hold to my, you know, position about him, though. And also, like, I mean, even though, yeah, he might, like, invest in some poor areas to an extent, I mean, does the actual, like, root of the problems go away? Because they don't seem like they do. It seems like he does just enough for there to be improvements, but not enough to actually, like, solve the root of the issues that, you know, causes, like, crime to be a problem in a place like in Gotham. So it just kind of seems like, you know, he still is kind of, you know, allowing the issue to kind of, you know, fester or perpetuate just because, you know, it's always a constant issue. Even if maybe it's not necessarily in one specific neighborhood, it's just going to go to another one. I mean, it's kind of like what happens with gentrification in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of the, you know, poor people get moved out of, like, one community when it gets heavily invested in, and, you know, those people move into, like, the next poor community, and thus, you know, a lot of the problems and crimes of poverty and stuff like that end up, you know, being exacerbated in those areas. At least when it comes to a very capitalistic framing of gentrification. I don't necessarily think gentrification is inherently bad as long as it doesn't fucking, like, you know, push out the poor people that live in those communities. If it's actually there to uplift those people and keep them in their, you know, communities and their homes and neighborhoods and shit, then I don't have a problem with it. I can't stand by it. He expects everything to play out by the book. Like, if he apprehends a rich criminal, he expects everything to be played out without corruption. And I think a lot of it's because he expects, like, you know, the apparatus of corruption to fall under his arms. Like, you know, it's like, oh, that means you have to go to me now. You know, I'm the rich billionaire guy. There ain't none left. Because I, you know, called out those other motherfuckers because they were criminals. Not I, McFly. He must invest with me. But, you know, again, it keeps happening, though. It's like one of those reciprocal cycles. what I can't stand is he doesn't see the usefulness in ending villains like the Joker. Considering that Arkham Asylum is apparently the worst fucking secured place in the entire fucking world, and people like Joker can easily escape that fucking place. I mean, this is the same guy who wanted to deploy suits to police the planet. Yes, I kind of, feel the same way of Tony Stark, too. I mean, because he's just like another rich philanthropist billionaire type that, yeah, and if anything, is slightly worse because he literally wanted to deploy suits to police the planet and shit like that, like some sort of, like, capitalistic corporate police state. So, I mean, honestly, arguably, Tony Stark could be probably worse because it's not just isolated in Gotham. Now, it's more of a global issue at that point. Like, so, I mean, he's more, like, I mean, so, honestly, arguably, Stark is worse just on the virtue that, a lot of his ventures and shit like that, and a lot of his actions are more global, while, Batman's more isolated specifically within Gotham. So arguably, Tony Stark, I'd say has the same problems, but are exacerbated in a way. Because, he, does investments, does a lot of shit, globally, not just, regionally in the city. He did technologically advance the human race. I mean, yeah. But it's kind of like saying, well, Elon Musk helped out, the human race, even though he has a shithole platform for all Nazis. Like, shithole platform for all Nazis, So it's like, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, at least in that case, there's actual substance to be had, in comparison to Muskrat. But, it's kind of, it feels like a similar vibe. But at least there's merit to Tony Stark doing that, though. At least Tony came up with his own ideas. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. At least, I could give Tony the fact that, one, he created the ideas himself, and two, that technology actually generally, is cool and actually kind of like, helpful, especially when it comes to human race. I mean, just because you have someone like Elon Musk who basically just, like, bought all the patents and licensing to, like, land rockets back, from space or some shit, doesn't exactly mean he's, like, some unique genius or something. Because honestly, Elon Musk isn't. He's a fucking idiot. But at least Stark is at least, genuinely, like, kind of a genius billionaire type of guy. I mean, because he, does, invest in research in his own technologies on his own, for the most part. I mean, he had, like, in the first Iron Man, he literally has, like, a garage where it's, like, his little hobby room, basically. Like, his own personal workshop where he makes these things. So it's like, he doesn't have, like, some big factory with a bunch of underpaid workers. So I guess that's, like, another thing for him. I mean, but to be fair, though, it's like, I guarantee you, like, after, like, everything's been kind of established, I guarantee you he probably does. And they're not paid well. Guarantee you that, well, I would hope so, at least. I mean, if you're making, like, hella intricate, super fancy, like, tech, like, Iron Man suits and shit, you probably want to make sure the workers are paid well and actually enjoy their job to an extent. Because if not, then they might break down a lot. You with smaller timers, but people like the Joker are basically the same threat level as Darth Sidious. I can't say I disagree about the Red Hood. I know Batman has no killing room. Well, yeah, so does Superman. I've noticed that, like, DC heroes tend to have more of a rule about no killing in comparison to Marvel characters. Like, Marvel superheroes and villains are more willing to kill versus, like, DC characters. I've kind of noticed that. When they have tech that can heal broken spines, I think we need to talk about permanent solutions to the villains. I mean, I honestly, well, if they have technology like that, I guarantee you they probably have technology to do, like, some sort of, like, body suppression or, like, some sort of, like, paralysis suit or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, obviously it's a fantasy world to an extent, so there's going to be some levels of sci-fi at play. So I'm imagining if they have all this other crazy tech, they probably got some shit like that. It's a recent Batman's rule when it comes to the Joker, and it comes in the form of Batman who laughs. Essentially, the Joker has a toxin in his body that upon death gets released in a gas. It Jokerizes them. I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because there's different, I guess depending on which iteration of Joker, I mean, the lore about him is that he falls in, it falls in a toxic vat, and, and that's kind of what causes him to go insane and be a Joker and shit. So, I mean, it basically, it's like when most of your body is, like, kind of infused with that shit, I mean, that definitely kind of, will play a role at, whether killing him is actually a possibility or not. Why can't have tech that fixes mental issues? Yeah, considering that Arkham Asylum is just, like, shitty and, like, really not good at all. Yeah, you would think. Oh, my dog needs to be let out. Yeah, buddy? Okay, whatever. Just stand there like a dork. And follow me over here, too, while we're at it. Why not? Close enough. Overshot it. Does pretty much in every way of reviving the dead in DC make your mental issues worse? I would think so. I mean, if you're technically dead and get revived, I mean, part of your body is going to be decomposed. Terry McGinnis is a better Batman than Bruce Wayne. I mean, Terry McGinnis? I don't know if I know about that Batman specifically. I only know about the Bruce Wayne one. Never seen time he's going after corrupt people or people who are legit threats. Batman Beyond. He's the Batman of the future. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Like Spider-Man 2099, but Batman. So it's just like future Batman, basically. Someone that takes like the airship of like, the suit, so to speak. At least it ain't a Nepo baby, I suppose. Hey! I hear you trying to sneak out that gate, asshole. And have it closed for a reason. Since Batman Beyond was here and they were afraid it would be seen as a ripoff. I mean, I guess, but I mean, I guess if that's the case, they probably should have just waited. Just kind of keep developing it. Yeah, maybe like kind of, like polish up, the first season a little bit or something. This kind of is Bruce Wayne's illegitimate son. Oh, well. Well, you could have at least, left me in ignorance. With old Batman whispering in his ear in his hidey hole in the cave. Really? So Bruce Wayne is still a thing. And it's trying to influence him. Okay, well, alright, well, I don't know. I'm not too sure how I feel about this feller. About this, Terry Batman. And also Terry. They could have, like, the McGinnis, I think is fine, but, I mean, the Terry, though. I mean, Terry. Probably could have done a better name. His DNA was rejecting his dad, and Bruce's DNA replaced Terry's dad's DNA. Alright, this is kind of going over my head. Got the kid at break, he's still in high school. He's still in high school? So it's a high school kid? Oh my lord. Man, this is why I tend to be like, over superhero stuff. Like, what? Why are a lot of these superheroes like high schoolers for some reason? I mean, I don't get that. It's like, you would think, for peak, like, abilities and performance, you'd want them to be at least, like, peak adult age or something, like 25 or something. And, dare I say, maybe would have some lived experience. So the youth can associate with them better. I guess, but, I mean, like, they can still do that if they're still a young adult. It's like, yeah, when I'm 25, I feel that way, or something. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it would be the same thing, either way, but whatever. It's more of a nitpick more than anything. It's just something I noticed. It's like, there are legit, like, a lot of them that are, like, high school age. See that, but look at the suit. Whoa. Whoa, dude. Is this like Terry's fucking suit? I mean, his name though. Like, I don't see this guy as a Terry. But it still looks badass. Is there like a face in the background too? It looks like there is. To be honest, it was basically slim power armor. I mean, this shit looks like, I mean, it kind of looks part cat-like, I mean, with the kind of claw-like, gauntlets and shit going on there. I kind of dig it. I just kind of hope that, like, sci-fi just kind of, like, becomes, a major, like, trend for a while. I'd really like that. I kind of hope that, like, Dune really kind of, revitalizes, like, the sci-fi scene a little bit in media. Because, I mean, you could still kind of incorporate superhero shit in that. So, for everyone's still got a bricked up for that, just ready to go. Ready to bust enough for some superhero shit still after, like, over, what, like a decade, 15 fucking years of that shit, just constantly. I mean, it's like, you can still easily incorporate. In fact, honestly, it already is. They got, like, Guardians in the Galaxy that's, like, in a sci-fi, realm, mostly, instead of just being on planet Earth. Oh, Cyberpunk era. Yeah, like, that's another, element of sci-fi. That's what I mean. Like, I want to see some, like, Cyberpunk shit. I want to see some, like, more Dune stuff. I want to see, like, original sci-fi works of some sort. I want to see some, like, fucking, like, some shit, dude. Because, there'd be some badass shit. I want to see, like, okay, honestly, I'm on two sides of it now. Like, a little bit. I kind of want to see, a really cool, hyper-futuristic version of They Live a little bit. But I am really worried that they're gonna not, like, hold to, like, the aura of the original one, of the original John Carpenter one, and it would just suck. So I'm just like, I want that, but it's like, do I trust Hollywood to do that? Maybe an indie production, like if it was like some up-and-coming indie company that decided to do it, maybe they could do it, but I don't know about, like, any of the current ones right now. Deus Ex, the movie already, the guys behind the game have been pushing that for 15 years. Yeah, Deus Ex would be fucking dope. Dude, hell yeah. Like, what else would be pretty dope? I'm held down for Deus Ex, the movie, but I doubt the powers that be would make the movie based on the first game, which is objectively a masterpiece of storytelling. And honestly, I wouldn't want them to. I wouldn't want them to fuck up the story arc. Because that's why I'm a little worried about the whole idea of them maybe, like, having a modern spin on, like, They Live a little bit. Because, honestly, the original one's fucking great and awesome as it is. But, like, to have, like, a 2050, like, in the future type of thing. I mean, with the kind of the same foundational premise in mind. I mean, that would be kind of cool. But it would have to be done where it's in, like, the same kind of, like, pseudo-slapstick kind of feel. But also, it would have to be done pretty carefully, honestly. That's why I don't trust Hollywood to do it. But, I mean, they should definitely have, like, a Deus Ex film. I mean, they should, well, you know, I would say they should have, like, a Halo film, but because of the more recent Halo show that came out on, like, what, fucking HBO or some shit, and how that was butchered, I mean, I don't know about that. But, I mean, honestly, I just want to see some, like, original works. I want to see, like, some, like, you know, original sci-fi concept that hasn't even really been done yet. Or at least, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, story or, like, world building and shit. Doggo! Doggo, doggo. Got leaks. Hey! Dude, hey! His name is Terrence. He just kind of looks like a high school version of Bruce Wayne, almost. Well, if Venom says he's technically his illegitimate son, then I guess that makes sense. But he does kind of just look like a high school version of Bruce Wayne. Dude! Oh my lord. Bruh! Really? Dude! Oh my god, bruh! 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 Urgh. Oh. Did you get it out of your system? This is the face Terry's dad had when he saw his son born with black hair. I mean, if he's supposed to look shocked or something, I mean, he doesn't exactly look shocked or anything. At least, you know, from this look. Especially since his wife doesn't have black hair. Well, I mean, it's not like it's impossible. I mean, there are, like, recessive traits that can end up being dominant. I mean, you know, like, you know, just because, like, I mean, it's possible for someone to, like, you know, maybe have brown hair or, like, blonde hair to potentially have that kid maybe be, like, black-haired or gingered or something. It's not exactly uncommon. I mean, it's more rare if it's, like, ginger-haired, but when it comes to, you know, black hair, I mean, that's not really super uncommon. I mean, it's, at least if, like, the phenotypes, when it comes to hair color, aren't black, I mean, it definitely is more rare for that to happen, obviously, but it doesn't mean that they wouldn't necessarily have the recessive traits for it. Or I guess dominant traits, technically. Well, well, which way is it? I know, like, ginger hair color is a recessive trait. I think it also just depends on the hair. Like, at least when it comes to the hair color. Because I'm trying to think, like, which one comes first, technically? Because I know, like, a certain hair color is a more dominant trait, you know, versus recessive trait genes. Ah, man, my biology's rusty right now, fuck. I know I got, like, you know, biology notebooks somewhere stored in a box. If I knew exactly where it was, I'd just, like, crack that bad boy open and be like, alright, let's find the notes on this. Biggest shark jump I've seen is Terry's little brother. Now becoming an expert fire just by watching videos of other Robins. I get they need a Robin, but that felt really shoehorned in. That literally does sound like a shoehorned in. I felt like, maybe Terry's little brother could have just, like, maybe, chaperoned him or something, I guess. But, I mean, wouldn't he just like find someone who actually is like a professional fighter or something like that? No. Or at least have a training arc. Yeah, that's why I kind of mean with the whole, like, you know, chaperoning thing, you know, where it's like, hey, you know, I'll help train you, you know, when it comes to dealing with shit because this isn't your typical fight type of stuff. And then, like, when there's, like, a little bit of a training arc, you know, of just, like, practicing stuff, then he takes a few, you know, missions, so to speak, you know, with Batman. But obviously, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, like, you know, for the first few times, it's going to be a learning curve. And if anything, honestly, I felt like that just would have been way better. It's my little brother. I know we see him acting as a normal boy, but it turns out he's an insane genius. He's just like, you know, secretly an insane genius and is able to, like, absorb, like, any information just by watching it and being a total expert at it. It's just on that virtue. I almost called him an insane Jesus there for a minute. He's secretly insane Jesus. He got resurrected, but his brain wasn't necessarily the same. Doggo, what you doing? What you doing over there? Silly thing. You know what the MCU needs? Hear me out. A tournament saga. Oh, dude, they totally should. Dude, I definitely think, you know, there probably should be. Well, honestly, didn't they do that at some point? Was there, like, a time in the past where, like, they kind of had that? I know, like, in the movies, there's, like, the whole Civil War and shit. But, I mean, you know, honestly, it's, like, they should honestly have, like, a legit, like, tournament-style, like, thing. You know, it doesn't have to be inherently, like, a canonical thing. It could just be, like, you know, like a little, like, you know, just some fun, silly little one-off little mini-series almost. I mean, because that happens all the fucking time in the comics, dude. You know, it's like they always have, like, some mini little side plot that has, like, fuck all to do with, like, the actual main development of anything. So, I mean, they could easily do something like that. And, dude, I guarantee you a bunch of nerds would get all up in that shit. I would get up in that a little bit. Have a bunch of cameos on screen with multiverse stuff? Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, dude, imagine just, like, you know, fucking, you know, like Iron Man fighting Iron Man. just like two Iron Mans fighting each other out. Well, from a different universe, but he's, like, legit more of an evil Iron Man. An alter ego. Dude, that would actually be kind of cool. Like, they, you know, take, like, multiverses from more evil versions of themselves. That'd be interesting. Well, oh, dude, they should do that. Dude, they should kind of incorporate that to an extent. Ooh, maybe, like, you know, they are forced to team up to an extent, too. Like, you know, when it comes to certain tournaments. Oh, my God. Okay. They should. They can make it, like, a multi-part thing. Like, you know, maybe every year they have, like, a little, like, one-off tournament thing where it's, like, a 10 comic book long thing or some shit. Where it's, like, you know, I don't know. Like, it could work. I've heard of Prof. I'm already having in mind how this will work. It's based on levels, for example. If the level is 12, then the corresponding side fighters will have to equal that number. That gives a lot of variety. You fucking slaps. Prof slaps. Who's Prof? Oh, he's a music artist? I'll have to check him out. Do a little time track here. Okie dokie. I have to, like, go to work. That's one more day at least. You could either have 2 level 12 fighters or fighters on each side whose levels total that. You could even have something like 1 level 12 facing against 3 level 4 fighters. You'll DM me. Sweet. Now I'll have to check some of that guy's music out a little bit. Yeah, that felt kind of weak. I'm gonna load that one. Felt weak. Boo. Boo. Did that make sense? No, yes, maybe. Yeah, that made sense. Like, when it comes to, like, I mean, I guess, like, you know, what doesn't a little bit or needs elaborations, like, what do the levels, like, kind of stand for? Like, you know, like, how many, you know, battles they won, or just, like, you know, like an XP thing? That'd be the one thing that I'd be kind of a little confused about. But I get the idea about it, though. Strength of the fighter. Oh, okay, gotcha. You do. Unfortunately, and alas, I must get myself to work. At least it's one more fucking day. That's better. Whoa. So, anyway, I at least call it good and come back after work and all that fun shit. See how the crows and squirrels and scrub Jason enjoyed all the peanuts earlier. So, anyway, peace out for now, and see y'all when I come back.